Well, hello. How are you? I am Mick Manhattan. Welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast. We are live, Friday night live. It has a nice ring to it, I think. Not as well as Saturday night, but it's pretty good. So, I'm back again. Now, if you guys are aware, I just did Behind the Box, my other podcast for Cult Classics with my partner, Rob Gosher. We just did a live show of that, and now I'm back again. And the reason I'm doing this, I've done 3 live shows in 3 nights, 4 live shows in 3 nights, is because I want to start the Scene Snobs podcast, a Friday night live show that incorporates you guys when you watch, so we can have a fun time. I'm going to pose topics to you guys. I have some for you tonight. We'll discuss it. We'll talk about new current events that are going on in the movie industry, television, the whole 9 yards. Hopefully it'll be entertaining, and it'll be a lot of fun. So with that being said, this is the first Friday night show of the Scene Snobs podcast. Thank you for joining me. Let's just have a good time and get started. I kind of want to touch down on a couple things, some news that I've been talking about. Yesterday we talked about how anywhere between 120,000 film crew jobs were lost in the with the coronavirus going around, and it could be upward of 300,000 if you don't count non-union workers. Well, I have a bit of relief. It just came out tonight. Netflix has created a $100 million fund to help workers who are without jobs because of the global halt in the TV and the film industry. That is $100 million that they are putting towards film crews. They're not putting towards directors. They're not putting towards producers. They are putting towards the crews that make the shows and the TV, that make the shows and the movies that they put on. That is amazing. I forgot to mention my beautiful wife, Mary, who does not want to be on live TV or live internet, I should say. I have a
voice. I have a face for radio.
Yeah, right. You're a beauty. You're drop dead gorgeous and knockout if I've ever seen one. Well, she's joining me tonight. She'll be reading your comments off, and we'll be discussing those. Before I get to the topics and stuff, I'm really happy about this. I have a lot of friends who work in the film industry. We came up together more than maybe I've kind of like met over the years. Not maybe, but like I have met over the years who work in the industry, union and non-union. This is amazing. This is, for all of Netflix, and you call their faults and things like that, and a lot of people are against streaming and, whatever. I understand. I love Mary should be seen. I agree, Rob. I agree. And she'll be back. She refuses to be on camera for Marriage Like That podcast, too. So, although that would be a fun live show to do. But anyway.
Maybe next week.
But Netflix doing this shows how much they care about their workers. There are a lot of studios out there who have not spoken up or said anything. This warms my heart. My buddy Brian Patrick over at, who I host Pulling Focus podcast, he runs Skyline Indie Film Festival, sent this article to me because we recorded an episode of Pulling Focus earlier, and we were talking about the people, the film crews that were lost, film crew jobs that were lost and such. So he warmed my heart with this one. I hope more streaming services follow suit, and we'll see where it goes from there. But I just wanted to mention that to you guys. Now, on a bit of bad news. Not bad. I'm going to take that back. It's not bad news. It's sad because I'm selfish, and here's why. The Alamo Drafthouse Winchester, the last to hold out during the coronavirus to stay open, has closed down. It's a hiatus, as they call it, an intermission, fully back. I cannot wait till the doors open back up. I will have my butt in the chair for the first movie they're playing. That's how much I love that place. It's like a home away from home. Beautiful escape. I love the people who work there. I love the community and family I've built there. So I'm very anxious to get back to it. I will support them any way I can. Tomorrow, Andy from the Alamo is going to have a big announcement about a virtual exhibition that they're going to be doing. So they're they're alive, and they're going to do it, and they're going to be there for us every step of the way. Film Club, PC, the whole nine. So make sure, go on Facebook. There's a Facebook event for the Alamo. He will be announcing how the virtual exhibition is going to be working, and where we go from there, what movies will be available. It will obviously be pay, but why not? Let's support them. Let's support small business. Support these guys. They take care of us. They make everything an experience when you go to see a movie there. So we should be taking care of them. But their doors are closed now. But show them some love, on Facebook or on any other social media, and just tell them how much you love them, and make sure you're there when the doors are open.
Rob is rooting for Street Fighter.
Rob, Rob, we just had a 2-hour argument. We've had a lot of arguments lately. I mean, Dune still sucks, and you're not on the mic now, so I can say that. Street Fighter is one of those movies. I don't know if we're going to see Street Fighter pop in there, and I don't know that I'm upset about that. I mean, let's be real. It's not a great movie. It's definitely not the best Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. We can have that argument any day of the week on Behind the Box. But we'll see. Who knows if it pops up? You want to fight, or do you want to go home? But we got enough topics to fight about tonight. I'm sure I'm going to enjoy what you have to say about the topics of tonight. One thing I was thinking about that I'm planning on doing. Brian, welcome back. Thanks for coming back to the show, too. Lori, I saw you on there, too. It's great to have all you guys coming on. Really appreciate the support, and I appreciate your support with Behind the Box in the past few days at the live show. So thanks for coming out and watching and partaking in all this. I'm going to have some fun stuff to talk about tonight. One thing I want to talk about is what we're doing with the kids during isolation. And an idea I had is make a short film. That I'm good at it. It's one I know by going to film school and working in the industry. So it sucked, Andrew. I'm free to suck. I hope the last show doesn't. Did the last show suck, or?
I think he was talking about Street Fighter.
Oh, Street Fighter sucked. Okay. I was going to be like, I thought you liked the last show, Andrew.
Is this going to be Second Grade to Love Part 2?
Oh, my God.
Because our oldest is in the second grade.
Andrew, do not talk about that movie.
Oh, snap.
God. He was the boom. Andrew was the boom operator on that movie.
That's amazing. Andrew, if you have a copy of that, I really would love to see it.
I have a copy of that.
Oh, well,
I will just never
I'll have to
watch
bribe
it.
you.
Maybe that could work. It's late night on a Friday. We're live. Anything can happen. We'll see. Not on camera.
We're all kind of going a little stir crazy here.
All a little stir crazy. All work and no play make Jack a dull boy. So I'm going to start shooting a short film with the kids. They're really into the idea. They want to do it. And just kind of cut it together and put it up on either Scene Snobs or on my personal Facebook or whatever. Just to have some fun. So it got me thinking about things you could do. Not just games you could play. Not just the schooling that you have to do. But what do you guys have? He's laughing out loud. I know he's thinking about that stupid movie that I made. What could you guys do? I want to hear your thoughts on your talents. There's a lot of people who are talented. Rob is a talented painter. And I know that he and his daughter paint together. So that's an awesome thing. And I'm calling you out on that, Rob, but you should see his work. We will put it up on the Scene Snobs.
Now that you mention that, I wonder, and, to all of our listeners out there, let us know if you're interested. Because people could come back and watch it.
I don't care. It could be one, as long as they're enjoying it.
Yeah, well, I'm enjoying your company, so thanks for you to need to watch it.
My favorite audience member.
But, I've been getting, Rob with his painting, me with my cookie decorating. I wonder if there is, something to doing a little show and showing people how to get your icing right, or, how to get the details, because a lot of Rob's pictures have the facial details and, to really give it the depth and things like that. I mean, people are, I think, yearning for some relief. Yeah. We talked a little bit about the effect of, mental illness in this time. I read an article, which I didn't even think about people with eating disorders, how this is disrupting their routine and, the relief they have found with doing these certain things to get...
Hey, I have a channel, Rob. If you could be Bob Ross, you can be. I have a channel. I can make that happen. So.
But just thinking about that kind of thing, if there's anything that you guys are looking for, if we can't do it, maybe we can find someone, get a little tutorial. I mean, obviously there's YouTube, but we could do a little funny spin on it.
Yeah, and definitely I want to bring more people on. I want to bring talented people onto the show, especially with the Friday Night Live show that I'm going to be doing from now on. If you're interested, like maybe you saw with Behind the Box, we are set up in isolation. We're set up for bringing you on via Discord. I think is the program we're using. But if you got a webcam and you got a mic on your computer, come on the show. I want to talk to you. I want to know what you guys are thinking. What you're doing, what your plans are, and I want to hear from interesting people. And along the way, not just in the industry, but anybody in the industry, of course, is welcome, and anybody outside of. I know Brian, who is watching the show now, is a really smart sports guy, and I've been kicking around that idea for a while with the show in that. So, Brian, I'd love to have you on the show and maybe talk about sports a little bit. So, going on from there, so I posed 3 questions tonight in my post, 3 topics really. And I want to hear from you guys and what you think. You don't have to answer right off the bat. Just tell me what you think. Give it some thought, and we'll start reading off your answers and stuff. Best 90s movie. That's any genre, anywhere. What do you think the best representation of the 90s is in a movie? So I know there's some people who are speculating earlier, and I will give mine as we go on. But give that some thought. The second topic I want you to think about tonight and answer this. The hardest movie for you to watch. What is it? Is it a horror movie? Is it a drama? Is it Sophie's Choice? It could be, and that's not 90s. That can be any movie or even TV show. So what's the hardest thing for you to watch and why? And the third that I really want to go with. What's a movie or a TV show that you loved? Primarily movie, but I'll extend it to TV, that you really loved when you were younger, that you hate now. Mm-hmm. Or vice versa. What did you hate that you really love? Brian Kosnowski, I can also cook, random stuff in the fridge, make meal. That's true.
Ooh, that's a good trait to have.
He was always a pretty good cook. I will give him that. I've known Brian for a long time, so I will give him that. He's a talented cook. Those are the questions. Best 90s movies. Hardest movie for you to watch. Clueless, Brian Kosnowski. That is a good one. That is a good representation of the 90s. Fashion-wise, lingo.
What movie? I missed it.
Brian said Clueless for his best movie of the 90s. Hey, Sam, glad you're joining us. So the 3 topics are best 90s movie, hardest movie for you to watch, and a movie that you loved back in the day but hate now, or vice versa. You hated back in the day and you love now. So
see, I loved Clueless, and Clueless was actually the first one that came to my mind. But I'm an East Coast girl. Love the West Coast, but just didn't spend a lot of time out there. So I have a hard time imagining Clueless being a nationally relatable movie. You know what I mean? Because the fashion and everything was very California.
Yeah.
So I would almost argue that a movie like Empire Records would be a little more relatable because they had like the grunge, which was everywhere in the 90s, and just more than, the rich Beverly Hills kind of.
But was it...
And I love Clueless. Don't get me wrong. I am not knocking that movie in any way, shape, or form.
I do agree that Empire Records had an amalgamation of different types of people in it. Different types of personas, I should say.
Right.
Is probably the best way to put it. I love the Stanford Prison Experiment. Very interesting. That came out only a few years ago. But you said, did you hate it and love it? Or is it the hardest movie for you to watch? But I like that answer, because if that's the hardest movie for you to watch, I get that. So, but for best 90s movie, I see what you're saying, and Clueless is definitely up there, and so is Empire Records. But now you have to think about this. It's not just the look. It's just not the film. But not crazy about Alicia Silverstone. I don't think anybody was.
Yeah.
After Batgirl, nobody was.
Even before Batgirl.
Yeah. So...
This is hard. There were a lot. I mean, you have Tommy Boy, you have Boys in the Hood, You know, you have Jurassic Park. I mean, ooh.
Read off Rob's. I want to hear what
Street Fighter.
No, Street Fighter.
Seriously, Tremors. Hardest to watch is Hard Candy. Something he can't stand to watch now. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That man is a jerk. I agree.
Ferris is the hardest to watch?
Yeah. Something he can't stand to watch now.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
I agree.
And Stanford Prison Experiment was I can understand, like, even for Sam being a hard one. That's a good choice too. So those are two really solid choices. Andrew put up Swingers. Swingers is the best '90s movie. I love that movie, Andrew.
I love that movie.
But it's such a weird, because it's a '90s movie, but it's a throwback to like the '60s culture and even like the '50s with the swing. But it is a good representation of the '90s. Now, my thing is, like, what if you had to put one movie up on a pedestal, and say this represents the '90s, not just in fashion or in lingo or stuff, but like when you think back to the '90s, it's like that's the movie I think of. And a couple I'm going to pose to you that are bigger ones. And you guys let me know if you think of that, or if you think of something else. Pulp Fiction.
Space Jam.
I'm not Space Jam.
First
Batman can't watch no. Oh wow, I can visit that one. I can't really visit the others though. But that's interesting you say that. But it is dated. I will give you that. So I said Pulp Fiction, Titanic, Jurassic Park, Forrest Gump, or The Matrix. Those are my top five. Not my top five personally. Of '90s movies, but I would say are probably good contenders for representations of the '90s. But let me know what you guys think, because maybe I'm not thinking of something. Because I mean, there's tons of other movies out there that
American Pie. I mean, I'm surprised that you say Titanic as the best representation of the '90s. Can you explain that?
Because it was the biggest movie of all time at one point that came out in the '90s. You Can't Hardly Wait. That's a good one.
We were supposed to have our bachelorette party be a Can't Hardly Wait theme. Do you remember that?
Yeah, let's not get into that one.
Just as a nod to how much we love that one.
Jack's Joker character sucked based on the new ones. Absolutely 100% agree, but for the turn that he took with that one, the gangster Joker, I still dug it. I love Batman, and it's a nostalgia thing. It's 100% a nostalgia thing. It's not a good representation of the comics, but I do like the original Batman. I think that's because it was like the first that we didn't have, you know?
I would say the hardest for me to watch was Boys Don't Cry.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I could see why that would be a hard movie.
Yeah. One that I will probably never watch again, especially after this week, is Groundhog Day, because that's what I feel like we're in right now.
Oh, well, thank you. Home with me all day, and that's what you think?
Stop it. That's not what I mean. Yeah, a little.
Or
with the kids.
Two, I would say that I really like that I would put up for it, but I'm not saying that they are. They're just personal favorites to me. Is Boys Don't Cry is so good, though. That's true, Rob. And rewatch it. The dialogue's like... I actually did just rewatch 89 Batman. And again, I think it's... I agree with you. I'm not saying you're wrong about your points about 89 Batman. I'm just saying I think there's just a bug in my head that I have such a good experience from that movie. It's... she couldn't watch The Room. Christina says she couldn't watch The Room. Oh, man, the movie's so bad. I love it. But 89 Batman is one I can revisit.
Just did that one.
Yep. Goodfellas and Seven I would put up on the list because I love
Definitely
those movies.
Seven, yeah. Good.
And
yep.
when I think back to the 90s, that, and even Shawshank Redemption I would throw up there.
Oh gosh, that's such a good movie too.
So give me some of your hardest movies to watch too. It could be something scary, something that freaks you out. Was Heather's 90s? No, Heather's was 80s. That's a good choice. But I would say, I would put that up, and I might pose this question in the future for best representation of an 80s movie. I don't want to do it right now because I want to stick with 90s, but that is a good choice for that. Especially if you're going with the Clueless type vibe, like, you know, a lot of that was very exaggerated, but fun at the same time, fun representation in the 90s.
Tommy Boy?
Nah, I wouldn't put that up. I mean, it was funny, but it's like Dumb and Dumber. Like, I laughed at it, But when I go back and rewatch it now, I'm like, it's kind of, Did I say Jurassic Park earlier?
Mm-hmm. You did.
Yeah, Jurassic Park, I don't know. That was such an epic movie, and it's still... I still maintain that it holds up today. I think it's such a good movie. What do you guys think? I want to hear what you guys are all about right now. What do we have? Okay. So I want to loved back in the day, but hate now, or vice versa. So hated back in the day, love now. Waterboy. It was a funny movie. I don't know if I'd give it a good representation of the '90s. But that was that one. Like, I can't watch Dumb and Dumber anymore. It is that and Ace Ventura. They've become so silly. I can't revisit them. But I will say that Waterboy is one I can revisit. Waterboy, Billy Madison. I would say if you're going to say Adam Sandler movies as a representation, if Billy Madison or Happy Gilmore were probably ones I'd put a little higher than Waterboy.
Can you believe that the first Toy Story came out in the mid-90s?
Yeah, 94, 95.
Yeah, but it seems... just seems... It's just crazy.
I remember I think the second one came out in 99 or 2000.
Right, because it took forever.
Because Pixar was just making movies every once in a while there. But I remember I was working at Suncoast Video, and Toy Story 2, I liked it a lot, was the first one, was like the movie I'd put on every Saturday morning.
Fifth Element. Yes.
Rob Gosher, Fifth Element, best sci-fi representation in the 90s. Best sci-fi. That's hard to argue with. It really is. Multipass? There you go. Multipass? Yeah, I got some swag from it. I will have to say that is a good choice. It's hard to put over T2, though. T2 as a sci-fi representation in the 90s, that was a big movie. So, I would say... sorry, I'm getting out of that. I'm looking up some of the movies that I love to hate.
Yeah, but let us know. I mean, we can...
But Fifth Element's a good choice.
God, Fifth Element's good.
And that deserves a rewatch. And it still boggles my mind to this day that the hero and the villain never meet in the movie.
Yeah.
Gary Oldman and Bruce Willis never share scene time. I love Multiplicity in the 90s. Multiplicity was a funny movie. I will give it to you. It is a good 90s movie, but how about Mrs. Doubtfire? I mean, if we're going comedy route, and, you guys think that was a big movie, and Mrs. Doubtfire was a funny movie. I did a rewatch maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, and I still really liked it. Groundhog Day, we talked about that earlier. Silence of the Lambs, that's a good one. That is a good one. I might put that up there because that was a huge movie for the 90s too.
And it definitely, is rewatchable.
Yeah.
Even now, I mean, I could watch that every time it's on.
But I did mention Seven and
Seven's
Goodfellas,
yeah.
and those are two movies I'd probably watch more than Silence of the Lambs. Like if all three of those were on TV, I'd go to Goodfellas. But I think I would go to Goodfellas because I grew up in Jersey, and that's just like I love the accents and stuff like that. But Seven is probably the most rewatchable out of all the ones named so far, in my opinion, for me. What about The Lion King? It might be sullied a little bit because it was remade recently. It was a big movie. Aladdin was another one.
Yeah. The
Sandlot was, but that took place in the 60s, but it's still like held true in the 90s.
Yeah. See, I don't know. Like, I have always had trouble with this kind of thing, the list question, because I cannot say, like, this is my number one favorite movie of this time, or like I need a comedy in the 90s, animated in the, like I need filters.
Brian, you've never seen Seven or Pulp Fiction? Go watch them now. Like, well, don't watch them now. You're watching me. Keep watching me. But you've got to watch that as a back-to-back, too.
Ooh.
Definitely watch Seven first, because Pulp Fiction will at least, like, you'll go to bed happy. But you should watch both. Those are solid movies. And you'd love them. I know you. You would love them.
Have you seen Fight Club? Because that's kind of in lot. I don't know.
I went 7 on my deployment last year. Still,
so
yeah.
cool.
Andrew's a Air Force boy too. Sorry, we have a 3-year-old running around up there. Rob, I want to go back to you real quick and what you were saying, because you said Fifth Element is that the best sci-fi representation of the 90s. What about The Matrix, though? Matrix was a huge movie. It came out in, what was it, 98 or 99? So I posed that question to you. What do you think? You're my partner in crime over on the Behind the Box podcast. Let me know what you think. Brian, Seven's a masterpiece. John Doe makes Jigsaw look like a Boy Scout. I agree. Yeah, Brian, man, I've known you too long. I got time. I am on shelter and home. But I'm telling you, those 2 movies, if you decide to do a double feature, they're perfect. But make sure you watch Pulp Fiction after 7, because if you walk away from 7 for the first time, and I'm not telling you a thing, don't ruin it for yourself. Don't read anything about it. Just watch it. You're gonna need a more uplifting movie like Pulp Fiction afterwards. Still weird, still wild, but you're gonna need that. So watch it in that order. 7, Pulp Fiction. With that, so, and ID4, that's another one. Now I'm on the sci-fi kick. There's so many, though. I will tell you, if we go to the action route to kind of talk about that, like, I do want to get into, because I feel like the 90s was probably the pinnacle of action movies. They just had so many perfect action movies in the 90s. Speed, True Lies, Face Off was a really big movie back then. Total Recall, Con Air I liked, but I loved The Rock. The Rock was probably one of my favorites. You had the Die Hard with a Vengeance, Demolition Man. So, Mission Impossible, some really good ones, man. Going through my list is it's hard to find. But I'm trying to find that pinnacle. I'm trying to find that one that stands out that you could put up. Die Hard was 88. Die Hard's a great movie, but Die Hard's 88. So that's a good representation of an 80s movie. I heard There's a Head in a Box. I was ruined for you. Well, I mean, it is like a 25-year-old movie. I'd say The Matrix on technical scale influenced way more movies than Fifth Element ever did, but Fifth Element has a much better cast, better writing. It was such a more interesting world. I'd agree with you on that. I'd agree with that full assessment. Andrew, Demolition Man, great movie. Taco Bell wins the restaurant wars. And we need the 3 seashells right now. Yes, you are old, Brian. Come on, man. We were drinking beer pong when these movies came out. We are old. So, what about Forrest Gump? I know I mentioned it earlier, but is that a good representation of the 90s? I mean, granted, his love of his life dies in the 90s. The rest of it takes place in other decades, but it still came out in the 90s.
Worst person alive.
Yeah, Jenny. She is. She's the worst movie character. She's the most... Hitler's been in movies. And Jenny might be the worst of all time. I want to give a shout out to Scream.
All right, I don't know if she's worse than Hitler. I think Hitler and maybe a handful of others, but she's up there.
Yeah, but I agree. Hitler did a lot of bad things and deserves to burn in hell. 100%. But Jenny's right up there. She friend-zoned a mentally challenged man, and that was not right. Blair Witch Project, what do you guys feel about that? But what about Die Hard with a Vengeance? Yeah, no, I mentioned that earlier. That's a good choice. But I don't know that I'd make it the pinnacle. What about Wayne's World?
Wayne's World, Wayne's World.
Men in Black is a big one. Like, there's a lot of 90s movies that are just so huge. Give me some more of the hardest. The Lion King, I did mention that, Brian. That was a big movie. But I don't know if it was sullied in the fact that it was just remade. I mean, what do you guys think? Did the fact that it was just remade sully it at all? You tell me. There's Clerks, Austin Powers. Austin Powers was a big movie when it came out, and that was a franchise. There's Something About Mary was a huge movie. Shawshank, Brian, that's a good one, a great one. Hardest movies to watch. I have my list up. Let me pull it up. What do you guys got for me? And I really just, I want to know. I want to know what you guys think. Old Boy is a tough one for me. Old Boy messed me up, man. Requiem for a Dream, that was...
My Girl?
Yeah, but Requiem for a Dream is messed up.
That's true.
So mentioned Hard Candy, Dead Alive is really hard to watch too. The movie is incredibly gross. I do agree with that. Gump is a good one, Brian, for 90s rep.
The one that was the hardest, that also would be one that I will never watch again, is American History X.
That was a tough one.
That was a tough one.
The hardest, Titanic. The hardest movie for you to watch is Titanic.
That movie was oh god. I wonder how it's going to end.
Wait. Do you mean that it's just bad and it's hard to watch? Yeah. The Mask or Ace Ventura. I like The Mask. I haven't revisited it in a long time, so I don't know if I would enjoy it. Ace Ventura is just not as good for me anymore. Passion of Christ was a tough one. Bad Lieutenant was a rough one. Boys Don't Cry is a hard one. You said that. United 93 was tough. Man, that was tough. Brokeback Mountain. Oh, Irreversible is a hard movie to watch. That might be mine. Irreversible is... I watched that in college.
I don't think I've ever even heard of that movie.
I don't think you want to hear about that movie, sweetheart.
Well, then stop talking about it.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, for me, that might be it. 12 Years
Schindler's
a Slave
List?
was a tough one, too. Schindler's List was tough, but 12
Life
Years a
is
Slave
Beautiful?
was hard, too.
Did you see Life is Beautiful?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But there was an element of beauty to it. Andrew says, yes, Mary. I don't know what he's saying yes to. Acting
everything, because I'm always right.
Yeah. Yes, you're right, Brian. Acting was bad in that movie. Precious was a tough one. Blue Valentine, Monster. Yeah, I don't know. That's yeah, there's some tough ones out there. And Love Now, or Love back in the day, but Hate Now. A lot of those 90s comedies, like, I can stick with the 80s comedies. They were kind of so over the top that they didn't bother me. But yeah, I just I can't. 90s comedies are just hard to revisit.
I cannot believe that we never brought up Office Space.
It's a great movie.
Right. It is a great movie.
That is a comedy I can revisit.
Death Becomes Her. Not to go back. But.
I've never really been a big fan.
Oh my gosh, that was my favorite movie.
Hardest to watch video is you in the trunk trying to scare kids. Yeah, yeah, that was a rough one. I did that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I need you watching these videos anymore.
I'm not surprised by that.
That was a long time ago. That was like, dude, you're going on back over 20 years. Oh no, it had to be 18 years ago. Is when I got my new car and you guys were like, is the trunk big enough? You want to scare those kids? And I don't know why I did it. But I was young and stupid. Hey, so we got more new releases coming out. Big one that they're talking about is Wonder Woman 84. Just kind of take a break. Keep answering those questions, though. I want to hear your answers. But Wonder Woman 84 might be coming out straight to digital. That is a big move. Now, what do we say from that? Rob Gosher, Death Becomes Her is the shiznit. Good Pull Mary. What about She-Devil? Both suck.
Oh, She-Devil.
Both
yes.
suck. Both terrible movies.
Watch your mouth.
So is DC doing this because Wonder Woman's going to be good? Or is DC doing this because Wonder Woman's going to be bad? I wonder. I have no faith in DC, so I really... Joker was fine, but it's because that was not a comic book movie. They did not represent the comic book world well at all. But there's an update that Wonder Woman 84 might go straight to. What? Oh, yeah, you're right. You know what? I changed my answer. Second Grade of Love is the hardest movie to watch. And shut up, you worked on that.
So I have to say that since I met Mike, this has been one of my very favorite inside jokes. And I still have yet to see it. So.
And you'll never see it.
I will. One day I will. I'm going to become friends with Andrew, and I will see it.
He doesn't have a copy of that movie. I don't think anybody has a copy of that movie. We burned all of them for the well-being of mankind. Alex, rough but honest. Marvel holds better true to comics, right? I agree, 100%. Like, I think Marvel is just... I think the people who are running Marvel, they just know comics, and they want to give the fans what they want. I don't think it's complete and utter fan service, but they definitely listen to the fans. And DC is not. And now, as much as I didn't really like Batman v Superman, Devil's Tree Ride. Oh God, we're not getting into those. That? Back to the Future remake thoughts. Okay. So, I'm sure you see it behind me. Back to the Future is my favorite movie of all time. I love it. It's a nostalgia thing. I can watch that anytime, all the time. If they remade it, and I've come to terms with this, I've thought about this. If they remade it, it's not going to be good. Because they're not going to do it the way they're not going to do it justice like they did back in the day. But I will say, I don't think I'd mind if they did it. At this point, I think that's a movie that you can allow to be remade. But I just don't think that they'll ever tell it in a time where it will work. Now, I have had an idea that if they continued, you can continue with Marty's son. I had that idea maybe like 10 years ago. And I thought like Zac Efron would be a good, like when he was younger.
Even now.
No, he would not be good now.
Yes.
To play Marty's son, kind of going into it, maybe take place before 2015 and all of that. But that was just an idea I had from a while back. But if you, so I wouldn't be upset if they remade it. Can they add the original plot? Add to the original plot? I think you can. In fact, if they were smart and they remade it, they would maybe go with earlier drafts of the script where they don't use a car. So it would be interesting to see that. Like in an early draft of the script, it was a refrigerator, which they actually used in Futurama, and they got that from early drafts. And they had to sneak onto an army base to get the plutonium to get away, and that was kind of the whole plot. That might be an interesting take on it, to do something completely different, kind of in the same vein, but like a little more action-y, but I still maintain that's the best. It's like a thrill ride for me, that last like 5 minutes of the movie, when they've got to get
Don't ruin it.
Yeah, it's a 25-year-old movie, a 35-year-old movie, so I'll ruin it. I still maintain that that's one of the best 5 minutes, like in terms of action. So Back to the Future beat this zombie virus. Back to the Future to beat this zombie virus. Back to the Future, but it's topical because they have to go back and stop coronavirus, right? We'll see. Who knows? I don't know if I'd mind if they remade it, but because the original three are always going to live on, and that's the best part about it. We have three. They're a clear, concise story. They're all intertwined. They were written well. And then if they did it today and the first one didn't do well, you're never going to get another one. That's just not how it works. I mean, that wouldn't upset me if they remade it, Alex.
So really quick, just to go back for a minute.
Spoiler.
Rob did say that he wasn't excited about the new Wonder Woman 84. He liked the original, but he can't see Kristen Wiig as Cheetah.
No,
but he really wants to support Gal Gadot because she's amazing.
I'd like to see a different family with a similar doctor. Let the McFlys have their series. Christopher Lloyd could have a new Morty. Oh, like Rick and Morty. BTF 3 sucked. No, you're sick. Now listen, on its own, it's not a great movie. But overall, and if you realize that this is a true trilogy, and we have very rare true trilogies. If you can tell me all day long that this is a trilogy, but they weren't written like that. Star Wars was saved, the Holy Trilogy was saved because of Empire Strikes Back. And it ended weak, but all trilogies end weak because we don't want them to end if we love them. That's just the way it is. We're always going to go into the last of anything not really liking it because it's an ending, and we don't like endings as human beings, because it's just a representation of death. I can talk about that all day long, but Back to the Future is the weakest of the three, but it is a fantastic movie. It still holds up. If you go back, there's so many Easter eggs and connections to the other movies. It's just that's the I'm not gonna say it's the perfect trilogy, but it is a damn near perfect trilogy. I agree with Alex. He's a big BTTF fan. So, and yeah, I mean, I got the wall up. I love that movie. I might have to watch it again, watch the trilogy again during lockdown. Rob, I do agree with you. I don't think Kristen Wiig's going to be a good Cheetah, but she wasn't a good Ghostbuster either. She's a good actress, because you watched the Skeleton Twins.
She's a good comedian.
No, Skeleton Twins was drama.
Oh,
she
that's
did a
true.
Great job
That was a great movie.
and she did other movies so I'm not going to just put her in the box of comedy. She's a great comedian. She doesn't play the straight man role well. She needs to be a little more outlandish, and that's what she was going for. And now she's playing a dramatic role, essentially, in Wonder Woman 84. But Cheetah's a hard one to make work as it is. But if I had to choose, if you're going to put any actress up against Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, and you're going to make it Cheetah, who is arguably her biggest adversary in the comics, or at least biggest nuisance, and she's powerful, and she's sexy and seductive, the whole nine, you get Charlize Theron. I think she can pull that off, and I think that would work. I don't know why they chose Kristen Wiig. Nothing against her, but I think there's certain movies that don't work for her. And I gotta tell you, bringing Chris Pine back into it, as much as I love him, and I thought he played a great Captain Kirk, especially in the third one, Star Trek Beyond. And I like him in other stuff too. I just didn't. I don't know. I can't get behind him being back. Kill Bill, was that 90s? No, that was early 2000s. I think that was 2003. Just to kind of touch down again, I've been thinking about it. And a movie that I loved when it first came out, but I hate now, is What Lies Beneath with Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer. Watch it now. I'm telling you.
I have watched it recently.
Oh, I just don't think that movie holds up, honestly. It wasn't that good for me. I want to know what you guys think, if you got any movies that are like that. But when it came out, I loved it. Another one is Perfect Storm. I loved that movie when it came out. I still quote it to this day when I'm looking for parking spots. I always find the fish. But I can't stand it now. It just does not hold up for me. What was that long one that just came on?
Rob said the problem with Gal is that she's not very funny, and the movie series are so serious. Kristen Wiig is so wrong for it because Gal hasn't shown herself to be able to play off as a comedian.
Gal,
I mean, it was pretty funny them singing to help. Sorry.
I don't remember.
Imagine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Let me get off that.
I liked her as Wonder Woman. She's probably the shining star in the DC world for me. Maybe save Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker now, because he played an amazing Joker.
He did.
Take that back. Michelle Pfeiffer was fantastic. No, I'm not taking that back. I don't like that movie anymore. And I loved it when it came out. I saw it twice in theaters when it came out. Gladiator from Alex.
The Ring.
You hate
Brian.
it now? You hate Gladiator now? Or are you saying that's a hard movie for you to watch? Or do you love Gladiator now and you hated it when it came out? Let me know, because I'm actually anxious to hear your thoughts on that. Not actually, I just am. Now, when it comes down to Kristen Wiig and Gal Gadot, like, MIB is a great 90s movie, Brian. Bill and Ted, another great one. What is a phone booth? Yeah. We'll find out in the third one when it comes out, Andrew. Gal Gadot, I think, is the best representation of Wonder Woman. I love Linda Carter, but it is dated. It is a dated role, and I'm glad that she brought that character to the forefront in the 70s. and helped build an awareness of comic books and TV. But Gal Gadot definitely, I think she is statuesque and strong character that she really pulls it off. And that's why you can't have Kristen Wiig up against her as arguably one of her greatest villains. Oh no, I'm saying she's good at Wonder Woman, but it's an incredibly serious film. I'm okay with it being a serious film. I don't think this one's going to be. I think this one's going to be goofy, and she's still going to be serious. And that's not going to work. That's what's going to take away from it. Look at the... Now, I understand. I've seen the armor in the comic books, and it works in the comic books, the golden armor. But it looks goofy in all the pictures I've seen. Hopefully it looks better on film, but I'm not that into it right now. I wish it would be better. What do you got? Any more comments? I thought I saw a long one come up.
No, that's what she said.
That's what she said. Who said that?
The Ring. Ryan said The Ring.
Ring is a good movie, but that's 2002, I think, or 2001, which is a remake of Ringo, which might have been a 90s movie. Men in Black is a solid choice for 90s representation. I mean, Will Smith was probably one of the biggest actors in the 90s.
Yeah.
Most likely number one what was I going to say? Number one box office draw.
Yeah.
Is there another Deadpool? There will be a Deadpool 3. They're working on it. Disney's going to keep it rated R. And Ryan Reynolds will be back for it. So I don't know who's directing it. I don't know when they're shooting it, but he has put out some stuff for it. And in terms that it's coming soon. So we will see another one. Very surprised that Disney is going to try and keep the rated R with that. Happy about it, but Disney is usually pretty rough around that. Star Trek Insurrection 1998. Just saw. What did that say? The Star Trek Insurrection one.
Just saw last night. Held up pretty good.
Who said that?
Alex.
Insurrection is my favorite of the Next Generation movies, and I love
Rob.
First Contact. I love Generation, and I even liked Nemesis enough because it had some very cool fanfare in it. But Insurrection is my favorite. I thought it was fantastic. Which, if you watch Insurrection and you watch the new Picard show, which I did not do a Scene Snobs review of the last episode because it's a two-parter, and I have problems with it, and I want to see the last part to see where it goes from there. So I'm saving that review to do both parts together. I want to do it justice. That would be a great trilogy, Deadpool. Well, it depends if they make it a trilogy or not, though. So far, so good. But it could be a series. Deadpool can show up in all the Marvel movies now, and that would work because he does. He shows up in everything, and he causes problems for everybody. That's the best part about his character in the comics is he is aware that he is a comic book character. So he goes around and every time he's talking to everybody, he is saying things where they're just like, "What are you talking about?" And it's because he's speaking to us. That's the brilliance of Deadpool. He's so crazy. He's aware. They are introducing Taskmaster in the new Black Widow movie, who's a great villain, and I hope goes up against Deadpool. If they make a third Deadpool, I hope Taskmaster shows up. Insurrection is your favorite. Oh my Lanta. What? Genesis? Well, you mean Generations, sir? I know he knows that, but I'm messing with him. Or First Contact. First Contact is great. First Contact, it's a great movie and is a great Star Trek movie. Generations is a good one because you get Picard and you get Kirk together, and it works. And Bridge on the Captain. It's a funny joke. A lot of people don't like how he died, but I thought it was a funny joke. They always said Captain on the bridge of the Enterprise. Well, a bridge falls on Kirk and kills him, and it's Bridge on the.
That's not funny.
It is funny.
Is First Contact, is that with the one with Jodie Foster?
No, that's Contact.
No,
Another good sci-fi representation. Yes. But Insurrection, I love that one. I love that one because it's the most real to the characters, in my opinion. And what they would do, and the villains are great in that one. I really enjoyed it. Now, the Borg, of course, is arguably the best villain in Next Generation lore, but I can go on about Star Trek all day long, buddy, and you and I have a podcast we can talk about this. So, Rob Gosher, it's funny. Insurrection is funny, or First Contact is funny? I would argue that First Contact is funny down on Earth, and The Enterprise is not funny at all. But you let me know what you think. So, loved and hate. Let me know some more movies. 90s movies. Green Mile. You're shouting them all out, and I dig that. Green Mile's a solid movie. I don't know that I'd pick it as like because I would say Shawshank Redemption.
Hard to watch though, the Green Mile. Oh.
Now that a hardest movie, like I don't think so, but I can see where somebody would pick that as the hardest movie to watch, because there's a lot of heartbreak in that movie.
Oh, Alex wants to do the podcast with you.
Oh yeah, all right,
on
man.
Star Trek. Just talk about Star Trek.
Oh, very cool. Shoot me a message, Alex.
Yeah.
Captain on the Bridge on the Captain. That was funny.
Oh.
Thank you, Rob. That was a funny joke. I like that too. I think we've talked about that one before, though.
So funny.
Yes, that would be a lot of fun. I will definitely talk Star Trek. And especially if you're watching Picard and Discovery, I would want to get your thoughts. So, stop kicking my table, lady. Come on.
Long legs.
Big Lebowski. That is, I would put that up there. And best representation in the 90s.
I'm surprised you didn't say that one.
I didn't because I thought the ones that I mentioned might be a little bit higher on people's lists. But The Big Lebowski is a great movie. So check it out if you haven't seen it. They just made a sort of a sequel. It follows Jesus, John Turturro's character in the movie. And it has Pete Davidson playing in the movie as well. I am in. All right, yes, definitely. Send me a message, man, and I'll get back to you. If I don't get back to you tonight, it's because I've done 3 of these shows today, and I probably will crash. Man, Brian, you're really pulling some amazing films. Brian is pretty good. Brian and I grew up pretty much together. He's a little older than I am, but he always had pretty good movie nights at his house.
Oh, my coworker Gerard joined.
Hey,
He's amazing. He's one of my favorites. Gerard.
Gerard, nice to meet you.
He's the one who's super into Halloween also and does like the family costumes and takes forever to think about them.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. It's actually kind of funny. I'm wearing my Halloween shirt now, but my partner Rob and I did a podcast, which is a Cult Classics podcast, where we just talked about holiday horror movies. And I did not wear this shirt on that episode. So that's kind of funny. Yeah, say it. I like it. Much older. You're a little bit older, Brian. Come on, dude. If your age starts with the 4, you're older than me. I'm trying to figure out the topic. Okay, so Gerard, the topics now are, I posed 3 questions to everybody, and I want to hear everybody's answers. Best 90s movie, which means like best representation of the 90s type of movie. And it could be any scope that you see. Hardest movie to watch. It's any decade, any time. It doesn't matter. Just a hard movie for you to watch. And a movie you loved and now hate, or a movie you hated and now love. 90s movies is the main topic, yeah. It was a good movie, sports night, because I had a beer. Sports nights, because I had a, yeah, we used to watch a lot of good fights, too. Those were always a good time. So I'm getting back to nostalgic times. Gleaming the Cube.
I told you.
Oh my God.
That was awesome.
That is. Now, I posed the question earlier. Now, is it because Brian said Clueless, and I would say fashion-wise, the most accurate is probably Scream. Because
call,
they
yeah.
don't. It's not an overly. It's not like the fashion is a big part of the movie, but like everybody went. You've known people who wore everything in that movie,
That's true.
styles. Gleaming the Cube, though, it had that look of an early 90s movie. It had that feel, had that acting and that tone. Had Christian Slater. And it had skateboarding. That's a solid choice. That's a good one, John.
Sharknado.
For what? Hated? Hardest movies to watch? Yeah, probably. I mean, if you mean that.
Did that come out in the 90s, really?
No.
Oh, okay.
That came. The first one came out in like 2008.
Okay. Amazing.
I think. I'm not even.
And I love how well that movie did, considering
7 sequels.
I know.
And you know what? I put it down, but it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
And I was glad Steve got the work. Steve
Yeah.
from 90210. I was a 90210 watcher when I was younger. Rob, I'm surprised we talked about this on the other podcast, but you didn't mention Buffy for our 90s movies. Yeah. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That was a good movie. Sharknado, the first one was 2013.
Ooh.
And it had like 8 sequels, or 7 sequels, so... Dang. Hardest to watch, Sharknado. I'll give you that one. It is not fun to watch because it's so bad. What was the bike movie that was like Gleaming the Cube? That was, oh my god. I got to type that in. It was a BMX movie. I can't remember the name of the movie. Rad? I think it was Rad. Used to love and now hate is hard. It is hard, isn't it?
The Mummy.
Oh no, I love The Mummy. I'll still hold on to The Mummy. Who said The Mummy? Rob, have we not talked about The Mummy? Oh, as a representation of the 90s? That was a good one. I love The Mummy. That's still my best. And we actually have talked about that. That's still my favorite iteration of a film version of The Mummy. Save Abbott and Costello meet The Mummy. That's a solid one. What else do we got? Used to love, now I hate. There are some good ones though. But that bike movie, I would say you're talking about is Rad, which was a BMX movie Rad BMX movie. Yeah. Check that out. Yep, Rad. Andrew Humphrey said that. That was a crazy movie. I remember everybody wanted a BMX in the 80s. My brothers even had BMXs, and I had a Huffy. Whatever. It worked. It got me across town. Let me know. Yeah, keep them coming, because I want to hear what you guys have to say. Alex, I want to hear more from you, too. And Gerard, you just came in. I want to hear a movie that you loved and now hate, or hated and now loved. Both of you guys. Looking forward to hearing those. Andrew, what you got for me too? We went to film school together. I want to hear it. I want to know what's going on.
Gerard said used to love and now hate Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Wow. Okay, so here's my thing on that. So I'm a big fan of the Fast and Furious movies. Are they good? No, not by any means. I know that, but I go in knowing what they are. It's like Transformers. Yeah. If you're going in for anything other than big giant robots fighting, then you are completely screwing each other. We were talking film. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Get in on this. So, Tokyo Drift, yes. It's not a great movie. I'm not looking forward to going back to it. I have to watch the movies with my 8-year-old tomorrow. The movie kid, as he's deemed himself. Because he really wants to see him. He saw like 45 minutes of Fate of the Furious, and now he's like, I want to see everything that this offers. Tokyo Drift is not a great movie, but it definitely plays well into the series. I'm glad Han is coming back. He was a cool character in it, so I'm looking forward to that. But that's still a good choice. I'll give you that one. I will say some dated ones. Only the Tokyo Drift, and I love the rest of the series. I do, but at least it introduced Han. Give me Han. Come on, man. He was great for the rest of the movies. I'm glad he was the representation from the third one going forward. Fast and Furious not good? What? What? No. They are solid gold. You better agree to that, because they're great movies. And I can't wait to not see John Cena in the 9th one. So things I want to watch with my kids are Flight of the Navigator. Oh, that's a great choice. And that's a great topic. I like that too. Let's add that to this. Flight of the Navigator is good. So if you have kids and you're in isolation, what are some movies from back in the day you want to show them? What's going to let them know how you feel about things? Flight of the Navigator is a good one. What about The Explorers? Or even Space Camp. That's a good one too. That's another topic I'd love to hear. And kind of going on from there, but I love this. I love talking to everybody. It's so much fun. Mm-hmm. What about you, babe? What do you got for me?
I don't know. I keep chiming in when I have something.
Yeah, but what about?
Movies that I want to show the kids to let them know how I'm feeling right now. Yeah. Fight Club.
Oh God.
I'm kidding.
I know you're not that type of mom.
Not yet. I'm not. But we're only on day 5?
Yeah, I might have a black eye in the next live show.
Because he ran into... No, let's not joke about that.
Yeah,
it's
no,
not funny.
you're...
Biodome.
I like... Biodome is a good one.
Gerard's daughter
Well,
asked what
that.
a flux capacitor was this morning.
Sit down and watch the trilogy with her, please. Yes. Andrew, Last Action Hero. That's a good...
Encino Man, yes.
Encino Man's another one. No offense to the wifey, but an episode you're doing the sexiest movie characters. No, I'm down with that.
What?
The sexiest movie characters.
No,
but it's men and women, man. It's
oh my
men
gosh!
And women.
You were. I think you were doing a podcast, and Tommy and I was watching something, and I said,
Space Camp.
And I said, "Oh, he's so cute." And Tommy glared at me. I was like, "If Mick was in the room, I would have said it too." And I was like, and I say this more about girls than I do about boys anyway, Tommy.
Yeah.
I didn't say that out loud.
I do like that. Let me write that down because I want to pose that topic. Sexiest. I mean, let's be real. Right now, woman-wise, I don't know. Gal Gadot's pretty hot, even though she sang "Imagine." But The Rock is the sexiest movie star around.
I mean, so the one that always comes to mind is Zac Efron. But there's so I immediately think of it, but then I always feel this like tinge of weirdness because you know what I mean?
Because he's like 10 years younger than you?
Well, no, that doesn't really bother me.
Ernest Saved the World, nice. Sexiest ever, Brad Pitt, Interview with the Vampire.
Wait, are we doing 90s still, or?
No, I think it's just being thrown out there. We're in topic mode. Get in on this, people. It's so much fun.
Aquaman?
Jason Momoa? Of course.
Jason Statham?
Another great Fast and Furious alumni. So
Ernest
it all
freaks
ties
out.
back around. Ernest Saved the World, man. I'm down. I love it. Ernest
we loved the Ernest movies growing up.
They're so goofy. So what else you guys got for me? I might do
women-wise, I'll have to say, so Scarlett Johansson, when, I don't know what, maybe it was before like the Marvel movies, but she bothered me. When she first came out, I didn't get it. Thought she had a nice, I mean, it's late night, so I guess we can do this. I thought she had a nice bosom area, you know, but I never really got it. However, as she's done more and more, she has really grown on me. And I really do, I really do.
I dig her. It's all good. It's all good in the hood, babe.
Charlize Theron's another one.
She's probably the most beautiful woman around.
And
I'd probably have to give it to her.
I really would too.
And that's for like 25 years.
Legit.
The most beautiful woman in Hollywood.
And she seems like inside and out. You know what I mean? Like, I think Gal Gadot gets that too, but...
Hottest actress ever, Angela Bassett. Ooh. That's solid. That is a solid choice.
Her arms, I cannot...
You know what? Even. I watched her on...
bosom area. Listen, I always get in trouble for cursing or saying inappropriate things.
That's fine.
No, he said it with a question mark.
Yeah, we don't curse here. Sexiest actress, I missed that one.
Matt Boomer.
Matt Boomer. You know, he was supposed to play Superman. He was up for Superman before Henry Cavill. And he lost out to him. And I think he would have been a good one. Halle Berry.
Ooh, that's another good one.
Yeah.
What about, I'm always say her name wrong, but what about Taraji B. Henson? Right? Is that
Taraji B. Henson? She's hot.
Yeah. She has that look.
Yeah, she's got those eyes that you're just kind of like, I'm in trouble, aren't I?
Yeah. But you're kind of okay with being in trouble.
Not always. Halle Berry's a good choice. I mean, and that lasted for so long.
Rob said Alyssa Hannigan.
Allison Hannigan. She's from Buffy the TV show.
Allison.
And she's from How I Met Your Mother. I would agree, but I'd agree more on How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, she just came out with how she is terrified of her children learning her line from American Pie. The flute line.
Yeah. I remember. No, I don't like Taraji. I do. I think she's a solid actress.
Who else is there?
I'm judging her on her acting, but we're talking about sexiest, so yeah, I get it though.
You know, for a long time I thought that Angela Jolie was, but not so much anymore. She looks...
No, age.
thin. No, but it's not even age. It's, I don't know. She's too skinny for me, I guess.
I will say this. Probably one of the sexiest women out now, and it's because of her, actresses wise, and it's completely because of her personality, is and looks. I mean, she's a beautiful woman too. Is Tiffany Haddish.
Chris Hemsworth, yes.
He is a scrumptious beefcake.
He is a beefcake. Margot Robbie.
Oh God.
Megan Fox.
Margot Robbie.
Margot.
I don't know. I Margot Robbie actually might win that one. She's so beautiful, man. Her eyes too, just like hit you in the face. I still maintain that The Rock is probably just super sexy. Zac Efron's close too. I'm getting laughed at for that. Jolie was hotter in Crash, but not as much in
Agreed.
Salt. Salt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. She was more covered up in it, and Margot over Megan. Yeah, no, I would go Margot over Megan, personally. I love that we're talking the sexiest. I mean, if we're talking about sexiest of all time, Barbara Crampton, come on. So, hopefully she watches. No, but, and keep those 90s movies coming, because I want to hear something. I want to hear a gem that I haven't heard before. A good representation of the 90s. I want to walk away with an answer from you guys. Give me some sexy actors, guys. Come on. Hold up there. Jolie before BBT Blood Vial was hotter. Gia, when she was in Gia, yeah, that was pretty solid.
God, Gia was...
I don't know, has nobody seen Original Sin or Taking Lives?
Oh, Taking Lives was a good... Well,
one sec, gotta try and get a friend in GA on board. Okay, cool. Bring them on.
Ooh, Ava Mendes. That's a good one.
Oh, man, and we just watched The Other Guys the other day. Oh, my God, Mark Wahlberg is
oh, my gosh.
With her.
They were... Yeah.
Go inside, Alan. Forgot her name. Okay.
Oh my gosh, that was a good one.
That was a solid one. I still maintain that's the funniest time together. Most people would say Daddy's Home. So what else do we have? So we got some rentals popped up today. We got Sonic the Hedgehog. If anybody's interested in that, is coming straight to digital. I think March 31st. Sorry. So make sure you go check that out if you want to watch it. I want to watch that, and I think the kids will really enjoy it. What else we got going on?
I'm surprised that nobody said Mila Kunis, to be honest.
I'm not.
Really? Oh, I think she's so... not that she is...
Alien Resurrection is a great representation of the 90s, ruined some franchise by being too 90s. I don't know if that's a great representation. That's not even a great representation of Alien movies. Not the Alien franchise, just movies with aliens in them.
Yeah.
That's just a tough one. Onward's going to be out April 3rd on Disney Plus if anybody has it. Thank you for this video.
Aww.
Me on home arrest makes me feel human again with contact with people. Well, man,
that's
keep
why
joining
we do
in.
It.
We're going to be doing it with all their stuff. Thanks for watching, man. I'm having a good time with it. Join in, and if you know anybody who else needs it, needs the connection, needs the entertainment and the camaraderie.
Or has a topic that they want us to...
Or has a topic. Come on in. I love it. There's 11 people on now. Tell me who your sexiest actor or actress is right now. I don't care. I want to hear it. I want to know. Right now, I think Margot Robbie is probably the favorite, it seems.
God, she's so hot.
And male-wise, we're still trying to figure that out.
I don't know. I feel like Chris Hemsworth might have it.
What about Chris Pratt?
Oh, jeez. I don't know.
Hemsworth, I think.
I think Chris Pratt and his new wife are adorable together. I'm still mad at him for leaving.
Oh, here's a movie topic I wanted to bring up for you guys. It's in the news. So supposedly the movie Cats, which if you go back and you watch the Scene Snobs reviews with me and my lovely wife joined in on that one, which eventually spawned the Married Movie Challenge, which is a show we do together. We watched Cats, and it is a terrible movie. But supposedly there's a cut where they added buttholes to the cats. And I'm not making this up.
Are you serious?
Yes, and then they had to take them out before the movie came out because somebody noticed and was like, no, supposedly there's a cut out there of buttholes on the cats. And people are signing petitions to see the butthole cut.
Oh my gosh.
I love the Olsen chick from It's Always Sunny. Oh, Caitlin Olsen. She's married to Mac in real life.
I love it. She is so funny.
She is really funny.
Gosh.
And she's a beautiful woman too. Yeah. I heard that also. Yeah, the butthole cut.
That is crazy.
Release the butthole cut. I'll never watch the movie again, but the butthole cut. The cat butthole thing. I love it. So we got so Michael Shannon also came back. I don't know how many are interested. We talked about DC a little bit earlier. I'm not thrilled about it. I think they took Zack Snyder off too quickly, personally. And I do want to see his version of the Justice League, but supposedly they're making a Supergirl movie, and Michael Shannon said he would come back to play Zod if Zack Snyder was involved in the movie. I'd be okay with it. I want to see a Supergirl movie now. If they're not going to do Superman, bring Supergirl out. Why not? I'm all for it. So another one I want to pose too is movie theaters are asking Congress for emergency bailout amid the coronavirus closing, and we're a big proponent. We talk about Alamo Drafthouse here in Winchester a lot.
The Family Drive-In.
The Family Drive-In, which is a drive-in movie theater here in Stephen City, right next to us, which is a lot of fun. If you've never been to a drive-in, I always say go and check it out. So should Congress put out an emergency bailout for movie theaters? Because now let me ask you this. How much of that pie do indie theaters get?
So to me, the whole bailout thing, even the check for the American people, so I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know how they're going to do it where it reaches the people that it needs to reach, and I was thinking about this earlier. Just a little while ago tonight before we got on.
I see it wrong.
We keep seeing pictures of, remember this picture the next time you go to hoard supplies. And it's this little old lady in front of bare shelves. And my thought was, first of all, stop taking pictures of people to get followers, to go viral, to get likes. Did you go up to that woman and say, maybe I have something you need? You know what I mean? Instead of just taking a picture from behind her, what about the homeless population? Not that as awful as it sounds, not that they necessarily would be affected by not being able to go to work, because the majority of the homeless population is out of work. So, however, what about, we have a couple of elderly neighbors that we are very close with. They're not on Facebook. How would they know about some of these, local businesses that are here to help, like All Contracting, where they said, if you need something, call us, let us know. But the people that need to have the help are not, I don't know. I don't understand it.
Here's my feelings on it. Small business, I agree. They need to be helped more than anybody, because we need small business to thrive in this country. But it's not going to if we don't buy from them. If we're just saying small business, small business, small business, and nobody's buying from those local businesses, when everything's good, then what's the point of crying about them now? I am a big proponent of small business. I definitely, I have a list of businesses that I'm offering free advertising for now on all my shows, which is Back to the Media, the Winchester Book Gallery, the Alamo Drafthouse, the Green Turtle here in Winchester, All Contracting. Reach out to him; he's there to help. And I've often said, since we're in isolation, look around your house and then get quotes on some stuff if you see things wrong. The Hideaway Cafe, Sexy Mexi Burritos, and there's tons of businesses that I want to help, and I'm offering All small
Sweet Nola's.
businesses. Sweet Nola's is another one. We just ate there yesterday.
Well, we got takeout.
We got takeout. Yes, I shouldn't say we ate
Where they
there.
practically threw the box of food at me
Yes,
so that they wouldn't come.
It's precautions that they're taking.
It was awesome.
So,
they did it right.
Do I think that movie theaters should get a bailout? I think indie theaters, drive-ins, things like that, yeah, sure, why not? It's just as much a small business. Just because like something like the Alamo has I think 20 or 30 locations is franchise. There are individual owners. It is a smaller business, whereas AMC is not. AMC is a connected business. And we should be helping out the restaurants, the bookstores, the things like that. The stuff that really is the backbone of our towns and our communities.
Being a server for 20 plus years, it's breaking my heart.
What did Rob say?
He said that his worry is, what if the video on demand market is so lucrative for studios that movie theaters are considered irrelevant? This is a terrific opportunity to see if that's what the public really wants, and he'd hate to see that happen because he loves the movie experience.
Yeah. I mean, go out and do it. Go out and support. If they're still open, show it now. Buy gift cards. So when they open back up later, you have a gift card and they could use that money now. Do what you can. Let's all help everybody. We are in full isolation now because studies have come out that children 5 and under are really affected by coronavirus, and we have a 3-year-old. So we decided after we saw that study that we're not going to take chances until we know everything's verified of going out and possibly getting it. So we were only going out if it is absolutely necessary. We run out of something, we have to go and get it. But with that being said, if you guys are okay with it, go out and support the small businesses, even if it's just a door-to-door takeout sort of thing or whatever. You can practice precaution. That's just kind of where I'm at with that. I hate to see. I think we're at a time right now where we need to support each other, and that's what it's all about. Casinos, banks, and airlines, they're going to bounce back. But I mean, we have friends that work at airlines too. And
the banks will be fine because after the American people get their check, they're just going to have to pay their debts, which are not being subsided, and then they'll get bailed. Sorry. Save
it for America Like That podcast. They need something to listen to, or we do a show. Because my wife and I will host a podcast together called A Marriage Like That podcast, where we talk about parenting, marriage.
But in my opinion, I feel like this. Thinking about the casinos, thinking about the airlines, thinking about a lot of these corporate entities. The American people have been price gouged for way too long. Corporate greed has run this, in my opinion, not everywhere. I love small businesses. I love entrepreneurs. I love people who built things from the ground up. But these huge corporations, maybe this is what we need to right it, to right it again for the working class. I mean, you and I are absolutely lucky and absolutely blessed in this time that we aren't terribly affected right now by what's going on. But, the people who are homeless, it's like that one thing could happen and everything around you just crumbles, and we don't live a very lavish life, and I don't know. I feel like maybe it won't be the worst thing. However, thinking about the smaller people, within that organization, not the higher executives, those are the people that my heart hurt for.
Yeah, the people suffering, the people that are working stuff, that's who needs the bailouts right now. But I mean, we can go on and on about that until we're blue in the face. But this is the Scene Snobs, and we're going to talk movies, we're going to talk TV. So we've had a pretty good conversation tonight. I love that you guys came on. I think we all had a great time.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing this on Friday nights now. I know I did live shows the past few nights. Rob and I are going to start doing a live show for Behind the Box, which is usually on Wednesday nights. We record that. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to start doing Scene Snobs podcast live on Friday nights. So join in. It's probably going to be around the same time. Still working on the timing. What's going to go on there. But make sure you guys pay attention and come out and partake. I'm going to have topics for everybody to get involved with. And I'll spread them out through the week as they come up, so you guys have time to think about them. But enjoy it. Hopefully I'm entertaining you with some isolation. If you go to the scenesnobs.com, I've got 8 shows. Some are review shows, some are podcasts, the whole 9. Go check them out. We got more coming. We're gonna have more shows coming up, so hopefully you guys enjoy them. The businesses, like I mentioned, that I'm offering free advertising on, and any small business that comes to me, I'll sit there and I'll talk to you about it. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Brian. Love you guys too. Back to the Media, Winchester Book Gallery, Alamo Draft House, the Green Turtle, All Contracting, the Hideaway Cafe, Sweet Nola's, and Sexy Mexi Burritos. Love them. Go support them if you're in the area. And yeah, so that's it. Hopefully you guys had fun. I know I did.
I always have fun with you, babe.
Yes, thank you to my beautiful
We'll see
wife.
what happens on week 3.
Yeah.
But for now.
Thank you to my beautiful wife for stepping in and helping me out and reading your comments off to me. So until next time, just stay groovy and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.